Welcome to this tutorial on solving the range minimum query problem efficiently. In this video, we will explore the segment tree data structure, a powerful tool used in competitive programming and efficient system design. We will look at why simple solutions fail for large datasets and how this tree structure solves the problem elegantly. Let's first define the problem. Imagine you have a list or an array of numbers. You are given two index positions, left and right. Your task is to find the smallest number within that specific range. For example, in the array shown here, if we look at indices 2 through 4, the numbers are 4, 1, and 7. The minimum of these is 1. That is our answer. The most intuitive way to solve this is to simply loop through the numbers from the start index to the end index every time we get a query. While this works perfectly for small amounts of data, it becomes very slow if we have millions of numbers and millions of queries. The time complexity is order of n per query, which is too slow for high-performance applications. To solve this faster, we use a segment tree. This is a binary tree where each node stores information about a specific interval of the array. The main advantage is speed. It allows us to perform queries in order of log n time. It also handles updates efficiently, meaning we can change numbers in the array without rebuilding the entire structure. Let's look at the structure. The root of the tree represents the entire array. As we go down, the range is split in half. The bottom-most nodes, called leaf nodes, represent individual elements of the array. Internal nodes, the ones in the middle, store the result of merging their two children. For our problem, they will store the minimum value of their children. Building the tree starts conceptually from the bottom. Each element of our input array corresponds directly to a leaf node in the tree. If our array has the numbers 5, 2, 4, and 1, these values become the bottom layer of our segment tree structure. Once the leaves are set, we build upwards. Each internal node looks at its two children and takes the minimum value. For instance, if one child has a value of 5 and the other has a value of 2, the parent node will store 2. This logic propagates all the way up to the root, ensuring every node knows the minimum value for its covered range. Here is what the complete tree looks like for our example array. You can see the leaves at the bottom holding the raw data, 5, 2, 4, and 1. The layer above holds the minimum of pairs, and the root node holds the minimum of the entire array, which is 1. This hierarchy allows us to query ranges without checking every single element. When we want to find the minimum for a specific range, we traverse the tree from the root. For each node, we check 3 conditions. 1. Total overlap, where the node's range is completely inside our query range. We take this value. 2. No overlap, where the node is completely outside. We ignore it. 3. Partial overlap, where we must go deeper to check both children. Let's trace a query for the range 2 to 3. We start at the root. The left child covers indices 0 to 1, which is outside our range, so we ignore it. The right child covers indices 2 to 3. This is a total overlap with our query, so we immediately return the value stored in that node, which is 1. We found the answer without visiting the individual leaves. Segment trees also support updates. If we change a number in the array, we first update the corresponding leaf node. Then, we walk back up the tree towards the root, updating the values of the parent nodes. Since the tree height is logarithmic, this operation is extremely fast, taking only order of log n time. To wrap up, let's compare the efficiency. The naive approach takes order of n for queries, which is bad for large datasets. The segment tree takes slightly longer to build and uses more memory, but it performs both queries and updates in order of log n time. This massive speedup makes it the preferred choice for range query problems.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.